Welcome to Breakthrough Mode, the podcast where we intentionally get into the driver's seat of our lives, shift out of monotony and mediocrity, and step on the gas towards becoming the person we were always meant to become. Hello and welcome to Monday Morning with Megan on the Breakthrough Mode podcast. This is episode 289. Thank you so much for joining me and pushing play on today's episode. This week and next week, we are going to take one quote and we are going to divide it into two, and we are going to tackle both sections of this quote. Even though it's not a very long quote, as soon as I read it, I felt the power of it. And honestly, this is like the crux of my work. This is like the whole point of all of it. So here is our quote to start us off. This is by Dolly Parton. She said, "Find out who you are and do it on purpose." I love this so much. So this week, we are going to find out who we are. This is not just who we are right now, but who we are as far as who we want to become. Like who is the version inside of you that you want to step into being? Because that version that you want to become, the version, your potential, that person is already inside of you. That's already part of who you are. It's just a part of you, who you are, that you haven't lived into yet. You haven't experienced being that version of you yet. So we are going to explore that this week. And then next week, we are going to explore living intentionally, becoming that person intentionally, stepping into her intentionally. And that is the second half of Dolly's quote, the doing it on purpose. Because so many women wake up and they think, I don't even know who I am anymore. Like they've been running their life based on urgency of life, things that need to be done. And it's not about a failure thing. It's that life has required so much of us and we have risen to it. We have answered it. We have given what has been required. But so often we don't take the time to sit back and think about who it is that we are and who it is that we want to become. This is not something that we spend our time on as a culture. We don't spend our time thinking about this, journaling on this, meditating on this. And this week, I want you to take the opportunity, take the time, spend the energy to really think on who it is that you are and who it is that you want to become. What would fulfilling your potential look like to you? What would that feel like? Who is that version of you already inside of you? That's what we are focusing in on this week. So many of my clients, whenever we start our first session, this is how I always start. It's, who do you want to become? Who is that version? What does she do? What is she like? What does she prioritize? They don't know. They don't know. And a long time ago, I thought that that was just me, that I was the only person who didn't know what their potential looked like, who it is they were meant to become, how it is they were meant to show up in the world. I thought I was the only one that didn't know. Everybody else had it figured out. And the more I work with people, the more I talk to people about this, the more I realize how absolutely common it is for people to not know who it is they want to become. And again, that is not a failure. That is, we have been doing so many other things, taking care of so many things, giving what life has required of us, and we simply haven't taken that time. Probably because we haven't even thought about it. We haven't even realized that it was something that we really should spend some of our time on so that we can act in accordance with it, so that we can act in alignment with it, so that we can create that version of ourselves, fulfill that potential intentionally. Because life can feel so urgent. Everything needs to be done right now, and we don't have time to sit and think or meditate or journal about this. This week, this is your invitation to take the time to think about it, to journal about it, to meditate on it, to really start to gain clarity around who it is that you want to become. And really, that starts with who you are right now. Because if we can use the analogy of an acorn and an oak tree, the oak tree is inside the acorn all along. It just hasn't grown into the oak tree yet, but the oak tree is there. So you have to figure out what seed you are right now. What's our starting place? Who are you right now? So that we know who you are growing into, what your potential looks like, what that version of you is like. That is what we are focused in on this week. And I wanted to share an exercise with you that I do every single year on my birthday. And my birthday's in December. And so it feels like this really great, like, closing of the year ritual as I, start in on a new year and with myself, a brand new, age or whatever. So I can't remember exactly when I started this, but it's been over a decade. I will take my notebook to Starbucks and I will be there on my birthday if it's Monday through Saturday. And if it's on a Sunday, then I will probably be there on Saturday or on Monday. Probably on Saturday because I I like that feeling of not being behind. And on Monday, I would feel late because that's just me and I'm a little crazy that way. But anyways, I will take my journal to Starbucks and I will be there for hours. For hours, maybe 3 hours, maybe actually 4 hours. I will be there a long time taking an inventory, not just of the year, but of what I know about myself. I will ask myself, what do I really like? Like, what are the things that I gravitate towards? What are the things that I love to do? How do I like to spend my time? What do I really not like? What do I avoid? What do I procrastinate? What has been my favorite thing this year? How have I grown this year? What did I want to do but was too afraid to do? What who am I right now in this day of my birthday, usually? Who am I? Who am I? And I will take the time to sit there. And it's a combination of truly just sitting there, thinking and allowing this to marinate within me and writing. Because sometimes I will walk out of there and I will have written 2 pages or 3 pages, and it feels disproportionate with the amount of time that I spent there. But I have taken the time to truly think through it. Who am I right now? And then I take it a step further and, like, this next year of life, who do I want to become? Like, what feels like the most exciting, most fulfilling next step for me to step into in this next year of life? Like, this is like my birthday reflection and my birthday inventory. And you don't have to wait for your birthday to do it. I feel like the birthday is just a fun time to do it. You don't have to wait for the end of the year to do it. You can do that this week. You can take the time to sit down and do that this week. And I will warn you that you need a good chunk of time for this, because if you're not in the practice of asking yourself these things, if you're not in the practice of figuring out who you are, what you like, what you gravitate towards, you might feel a little stumped. You might feel like, I don't actually know who it is I want to become. I don't actually know what I would like to, how I want to grow in the next 6 months or in the next year. I don't actually know. And that's okay. Sit in the question. Allow the answer to come to you. Allow yourself to be curious. Allow yourself to be open, and don't shut it down. So this could take a good amount of time, and it will be time well spent, because the more you know about yourself, the more you can act in alignment with who it is you are and who it is you want to become. And that will help you live even more fully in this life. That will help you bring that vibrancy, that excitement of life. This is what we were focusing on this week, finding out who you are and then taking it a step further and figuring out who it is you want to become. Again, this is my work. This is the most exciting thing, because from here, from knowing this, you can make intentional choices in that direction, and you can become intentionally, and you can create a life intentionally on purpose. Thank you so much for joining me. I totally love you. Bye for now.